Spring training has started in the Valley, and everyone has been flooding to the Los Angeles Dodgers spring training to see the $750 million man, Shohei Ohtani. Here to give us the insight of Shohei and, of course, the Los Angeles Dodgers is LA Times Dodgers beat writer Jack Harris, who also, Jack, I get to embarrass you. Mom said I get to do this.
All good.
This is Rachel Harris's son. Jack, I wish I had the pictures, but I remember this kid when he was actually when you were born, and just a little kid running around. And now look at you.
That's right.
Mom's very proud of you being the beat writer there in LA Times.
Yeah.
And so let's talk about what is a LA Times beat writer for those that forget about newspapers and things like that.
Yeah, so basically, I follow the team around every day. Right now, that means being out here in Arizona for 6 weeks during spring training. When the season starts, it's following them everywhere on the road. They're starting in Korea this year, so after I'm done here, that's going to be the first place we go is across the Pacific. So yeah, it's a great job, and you get to watch a lot of baseball, get to meet the players. It's a cool.
And is this
cool
something
gig.
you wanted to do? I mean, I know there's probably some people out there right now, college students, high school kids who are thinking about this because media has changed a lot. But is this something you always wanted to do, or?
I always wanted to work in sports or be around sports. And I went to ASU, the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism, and it was there that I kind of realized, like, oh, well, if I write about it, I can cover a lot of games. I can go on the road and cover football games at different places in the Pac-12 or whatever. So that's kind of how it started. And yeah, it's a great job.
Cool. All right, let's talk here. When they got this announcement that this man was going to be the highest paid baseball player and was coming to your team, how'd that feel going, wow, I get to have one-on-one with this guy?
Yeah, probably a lot of stress at first, figuring out what was the contract looking like and what was this going to be like. He is so different to even other big star players. There's so much attention on him globally from Japan, from the rest of Asia, and obviously over here now. He's won 2 MVPs since he's come over to Major League Baseball. His level of celebrity is really unmatched, maybe across sports, but especially within the baseball world. Yeah. So it was kind of figuring out, okay, how are we going to cover that? How do we get that point across to readers? How different is it going to make the experience playing on the Dodgers on a day-to-day basis? There's a lot more media around this year. There's a lot more fans, even just watching them practice on the backfields at spring training. So that part has been interesting to see it kind of evolve and see how he's settling into a new environment. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, so far, he's coming back healthy from an elbow surgery he had last year. It looks like he's going to be ready for opening day, and yeah, he's playing really well too.
Yeah, he has. He's been hitting a home run. He's struck out a couple times. Let me ask you about other players with this. Does this kind of money affect the other players on the team where they're going to be jealous and maybe not give their all? And this is for all baseball teams in a way.
Maybe in some ways. What was really unique about his deal is, it was a $700 million deal. $680 million of that is not getting paid out to him for a decade. What he did is he went to the Dodgers and he said, hey, obviously I'm going to be a pretty expensive player, but I want to come and sign with you guys, and I want to be able to go to a team that isn't going to have all their money tied up in me, where they can still go out and get other star players. So he said, look, defer most of my money for a decade from now, use some of that savings in the meantime to go out and get other players, which the Dodgers did this offseason. They also went and signed the best pitcher in Japan, Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Yeah. They added some other star players around. They also have guys like Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts. So I think, the potential of, you have a really high-paid player in the clubhouse could cause some of that tension, but with this situation, the other players realize, oh, he tried to save us money so we could get better players and be a good team. So it's been a good fit so far.
Okay, and let's just say this, and I'm going to get in trouble, but I feel like he is the Taylor Swift of Major League Baseball because he's bringing global attention to the Dodgers and baseball, because literally this morning he tweets out or X's out in Japan that he's married, and everybody freaked out, and now everybody's going crazy. Total surprise. You being a reporter, did you even have any idea or anything?
No, and one of the things that's really different with him is the intense privacy around his personal life. Part of that comes because the Japanese following and the Japanese media, there's this intense interest on him that he's kind of tried to shy away from some of that. So that's always been one of the fun things to speculate about him, is what his dating life maybe looks like, or who is he with. So, but this announcement, completely out of the blue. Nobody knew that he was even close to something like this. So in that aspect, You know,
And
the interest around him, yes, does make, if any other player gets married like this, not going to be very big news.
And he
Today,
shows his dog is
That's
what
right.
he does. So that's the thing about it. Okay, so now let's get into the baseball season. I know you have to, of course, give it to your Dodgers, but what are you seeing for even our Diamondbacks, the Cubs, or anybody? Who do you think is going to be someone that's going to be a contender?
The D-backs are really impressive, covering their first playoff series or their second playoff series last year where they played the Dodgers. I don't think anybody was expecting them to win, definitely not me. And to not only beat the Dodgers, but sweep them and then go on and make the World Series. I mean, there's a lot of momentum with that team. You know, they added some good pieces this year, somebody like an Eduardo Rodriguez to kind of round out the pitching staff. So I think that's another team that, the Dodgers, especially in this National League West division, they're going to be the preeminent favorite. That's the team that most people are going to be expecting to go to the World Series and win the World Series. But a team like the D-backs is dangerous. A team like the Cubs, they just re-signed a former Dodger, Cody Bellinger, this week. That makes them a little more dangerous. So that's the thing with baseball is even when you go from the regular season to the playoffs, you can have a really good regular season team. The Dodgers have been really good in the regular season the last decade, but they've only won one World Series. You had other teams like the D-backs or the Rangers last year. I mean, you never know how things can shake out.
There you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there goes information to get a hold of Jack Harris on X, or of course you can pick up LA Times or go to the website, either one like that. So you're very lucky. I was going to ask you some things about mom if she drinks that much wine, but we'll get into that later.